Hello, everyone. We'll start in 1 minute. Having light problems at the moment. Sun's going down. I think you should be all right. Okay, 7 o'clock. So we'll get going. Because we're on time schedules. Only 2 people. No worries. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to bounce around threshold a little bit. So we're going to warm up for 5 minutes. Then at the end of that 5 minutes, we're going to kind of build it up progressively. And then we're going to do a 30-second sprint. Then we're going to just, instead of resting after the 30-second sprint, we're going to do a 4-minute threshold job and then we're going to do another 30 seconds sprint, and then we're going to do another 4 minutes of threshold, okay? And then we're going to have a recovery. So we're kind of going up and down. And when we're talking about a threshold, we want to be working in that zone where we feel the burn a little bit, but it shouldn't be too hard, okay? We're then going to have a 3-minute rest, and we're going to repeat it again. So 30-second sprint, 4 threshold, 30-second sprint, 4 threshold, 30-second sprint, okay? Sprint is just an all-out effort, so it doesn't have to be out of the saddle to see you can win. And then, okay, to finish it off, what we're going to do is we're going to do a 3-minute TT, okay? So after our second rest period, we're going to do 3 minutes where you're just going to be working as hard as you can. And again, it's a good one to set your distance going, okay? So just to recap, warm up for 5, 30-second sprint, 4 minutes threshold, 30-second sprint, 4 minutes threshold, 30-second sprint, rest for 3 minutes, which is a recovery spin. Then we're going to repeat it, and then we're going to finish off with a TT, okay? But enough talking. I'm going to jump on my warm-up. So for our warm-up, the first minutes, okay, the first few minutes are going to be a nice gentle spin, okay? And then we're going to build it up progressively. Now, before we start, another full disclaimer. I fixed my bike, but I have a new saddle. And so if I fall off or it breaks, we know why, okay? So when we're talking about threshold, okay, we're going to be talking a bit about peaks and how hard you're working and so forth, okay? Today, I'm cheating ever so slightly. Instead of doing it by feel, I've actually got a heart rate monitor because this one's a slightly harder one. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be talking to you about how the session feels, how your legs feel, and so forth, okay? So don't panic about that or anything like that, okay? As I said, I'm having a few light problems, so the position of the camera's changed, okay, ever so slightly. If you can't hear me, okay, that's a bad thing because I need to talk to you about it. If you can't see me, better for you, okay? But I'm pretty sure when I jump on, yeah, perfect, okay? Right, so we're going to start off, okay? I'm massively overgeared to start with, end of the last session this time. We're going to start off with a 5-minute spin, okay? So watches are off, okay? Because we started a little bit late, okay, I might just do 4.5 minutes because some of you might be spinning up already. As you can see, really, really nice, like no resistance, low cadence, okay, just to get it up, and we're going to build it up progressively as we go through the 5 minutes, okay? So yeah, this session's hard, but I thought this is the last one we're going to do for a while, so I thought why not make it a real challenging one, okay? So as I said, the 30-meter, sorry, I keep saying 30 meters, the 30-second sprint is essentially an all-out effort for 30 seconds. Doesn't mean you're going to be out of the saddle. You might be if you've got a good turbo trainer, but what it does mean is you're giving it everything you've got for that 30 seconds. So then, instead of relaxing after that 30 seconds, which is what we want to do, we're then just going to jump right back into it and do a 4 minutes at threshold. I'm going to repeat that, okay, as and when. So 1 minute's gone, so I'm just going to pick up my intensity and my warm-up a little bit now. As I said, I might cut the warm-up a little bit short, because you know, warm-up's a warm-up. So it's basically 30 sprint, 4 threshold, 30 sprint, 4 threshold, then recovery, then we repeat, then recovery, and we're going to do a 3-minute TT. So basically, those of you who trained me before will know what I mean. So this is 3 minutes, and basically you're going to see how far you can go, okay? If you've got a distance meter, and that's great. If not, you're just going to be doing 3 minutes essentially, just in that kind of like burning threshold zone. So don't panic about it, okay? So 2 minutes gone, so I'm just upping my intensity a little bit. At the end of this warm-up, we really, really need to be brutally working hard, Okay, so if you just keep your warm-up going, I just realized I've forgotten to put my towel here, which will save me from slipping over. Okay, so as I said, I've left my timer going. 3 minutes to go. I've dropped 12 seconds of the warm-up, no problem. Okay, so as we said, your warm-up's got to be progressive, which basically means when we do our 30-second sprint at the start, your body needs to be ready for it. Okay, so in about 30 seconds, we're going to raise the intensity again for the warm-up. So the good thing about this is it puts your body in the red, and in the red means essentially oxygen debt, can't get rid of the lactic acid, so your muscles are burning, but it doesn't let you recover straight away. You have to recover slowly because you'll be working in threshold, okay? So that's the bit that really helps you raise your intensity. Okay, 3 minutes gone. So I'm raising the intensity of my warm-up again. So the whole idea of putting your body in the red and then back in that threshold zone is to get your body used to recovering lactic acid, A, if you compete in competitive situations, or B, when you're training like this, you get used to, or you get better at doing those intervals, those big effort kind of things, okay? So just coming up to 4 minutes of warm up. My heart rate, should be doing this by feel, being naughty, is incredibly low. So I'm going to pick it up for now. So 4 minutes till warm up's done. So we've got 1 more minute. Lifting up my heart rate now and the intensity. 1 more minute, we'll do a 30-second sprint. As I've said before in previous sessions, I'm going to spend most of my time talking. So there may be little bits and pieces where I'm actually withdrawing a little bit of the effort, okay? I'm not putting as much effort as you should be putting in that block, because otherwise I won't be able to talk, okay? So in 30 seconds, we're going to go for an all-out effort. So you might want to ramp it up a little bit. That was a quick 5 minutes, wasn't it? Either I talk too much, or this session's already getting in my head. I tested this out a couple of days ago, the longer version of it. Brutal. Right, 10 seconds. We're going to go for a 30-second all-out sprint. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. 30 seconds. So you got maximum. Under geared. Keep going. 10 seconds gone. My heart rate's just rocketed through the roof. Halfway. 10 to go. And we're dropping down to threshold. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So don't recover. This isn't recovery. You should now be on that biting point. So the threshold is that bit where the lactic acid, you're just fighting it off. It's that point where you switch from using oxygen to without. So the next minute is going to kill. Because if you're like me, put that effort in, I can feel the lactic acid on my quads, and as I'm remaining in threshold, needs me saying to take it easy. So for me, in threshold at the moment, I'm kind of peaking at the kind of effort I could sustain for essentially an hour really for me. But for those of us who are less experienced in cycling, it would be half an hour. That's where your threshold is. That point where, this hurt. That point where if you started at 0 and finished at 30 minutes, your speed would be consistent, but you would be exhausted at the end of it. That's essentially threshold. Okay, so a minute and a half have gone since our 30-second sprint. So hopefully now like me, although my breathing suggests otherwise, you should be able to slot in now to a rhythm, and that burning on your thighs should have been removed. So for those of us without heart rate monitors, you're looking at effort of about 8 out of 10, 10 being all out. For those of us with, your threshold is essentially, well, depending on what theory you're using, I use lactate heart rate thresholds, mine different. But you might know your heart rate where you switch from aerobic to anaerobic. 2 minutes gone, 2 minutes of this to go. For those of us with none of that data, you could use average speed. You could use cadence, which is leg speed. I know I was speaking to one of you about that the other day. Or just use feel. So that point where you think, oh, this is hard, you can squeeze out 1 or 2 words at a time. Okay. So we've done 2.5 minutes, just going to 3 minutes. Which means in 1 minute, we're doing our second sprint. Then we drop it back down to the threshold again. I think you'll find that your second threshold block, it will take you longer to recover. So in 1 minute, we're doing another 30-second sprint. And that'll take us up to, well, after the 30-second sprint, the first 10 minutes done. So I've been using the word threshold so much over the past few weeks. I'm hoping you guys get it. But if you don't, drop me an email or WhatsApp or something. I'll be happy to talk you through it. Something I love, talking about stuff like this. All right, 20 seconds. We'll be doing an all-out sprint again. Just getting my towel ready. So we're still at threshold, remember. Don't let it drop. 10 seconds. Ready. Oh, this one's going to hurt. 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All-out sprint. 30 seconds. Should burn. Effort. 10 seconds. I'm peaking here at 50. Heart rate through the roof. 10 seconds left. Ready. I'm going to drop down into threshold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, down to threshold. This is the bit that's going to hurt now. Make grunting noises like me. Sound ridiculous. So, another way to measure effort or increase resistance is to use your gearing. Or, if you're on a static bike, to use your resistance. So for me, what I'm doing is every time I'm sprinting, I'm gearing up 3. That's on the back, 3 on the back. Okay? So essentially, I'm making it harder. Dropping down to threshold. Obviously, I'm gearing down 3. And the recovery spin, I'll be dropping down 3 more. Okay? It's a good guide if you don't have any data to use. Gearing or resistance. Okay? So 3 minutes of threshold still. Now, those of you who are heart rate monitors, as I said, I'm not their biggest fan. But today I'm using it now. You'll find that your heart rate is quite high. And rightly so, it should be. Your heart rate now should be around about what's called your lactate threshold heart rate. So that's where your heart beats at a certain speed. If it beats any faster, essentially you're going to start building up lactic acid. Now, unless you've done the test, which funnily enough I'm going to film in a couple of days' time,
hard to get it accurate. For example, I know, having done it before, my threshold heart rate, the bit where it breaks from aerobic to anaerobic or using oxygen to not using oxygen, about 166, 167, 168. Kind of changed. So for my threshold work, should be in or around that. At the moment, you'll be able to check this, because I'll probably upload this to Strava. I'm on 155. It's a little low. There are two reasons for that. Number one, I'm not working hard enough. Number two, I'm not working hard enough because I'm talking. Or number three, I need to redo the test. It's really a combination of all of them. I mean, the last time I did the test was about 4 years ago. And my fitness has been up, down, more time than, than not use that reference, more time than Tower Bridge. How about that one? Okay, so in 1 minute, we'll be dropping down for our recovery 3. And quite frankly, I'm looking forward to it. So I'm feeling that burn a bit. Not 1 minute now, burn a bit, burn about. In 30 seconds, we'll drop down for a recovery 3. That means we've done 9 minutes of work in a row. That's hard. And you can see I'm already struggling early into the session. 10 more seconds of this, and then we're going to have a real easy recovery 3. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, recovery 3. So we're going to spin it up now for 3. Now, many years ago, well, not many, last year, that's one, I did a session similar to this on, I think it's GTN, the cycling network. It's got some really good training videos on there. And Matt Stevens, he's not there anymore. If you're into cycling, get yourself following Matt Stevens or whatever social media you've got. I'll tell you what, watch Cafe Rides on YouTube, where he goes with like famous pros. Oh, phenomenal watch. Like really down to earth. They did a great one, Cav on the Isle of Man. There's Cancerella, all sorts. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, I did a similar one with GCN, where it's kind of up, down, but bouncing around threshold. Probably where I got the idea, to be honest with you. Anyway, and I remember saying that on your 3 minutes rest, you shouldn't be pushing it. And the reason is, if you are, or you are able to, it means you're not going hard enough in the sprints and the threshold work. Now for me, at the moment, that's the case, that's true. You know, and I'm quite happy spinning along here, fairly decent speed, because I'm not pushing as hard so I can talk. However, I need to get a better light in here, don't I? However, for you guys, that second threshold, 4 minutes, the end of that should really be a push. It should really be a burn. And as I said, every session I live stream, I give it a little test. And I say whether it's too easy, too hard, or what intensities need to be worked out or whatever. And for this one, for sure, the first 9 minutes I did not try hard enough. For sure. So I gassed it the second one. And before I did the 3 minute TT, I was blowing, absolutely blowing. Right, so in 30 seconds, we're going to do another 30-second sprint. Remember what we said about effort levels? I mean, I know it's cliche, and I'm a PE teacher, but you get out what you put in. So the harder you try, the better it is. But that's like with anything in life. Right, 10 seconds going for a sprint. For those of you interested, my new saddle is an absolute dream. I'm not losing feeling in my left leg. 5, 4, 3, gear up, ready, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. 30 seconds all out. Oh. That's 10 in. I can feel my rollers moving. That's a good sign. I'm on 52 kilometers an hour. Trying to push it up, see if I can beat my record. 54. 10 seconds to go. Ready, 5 seconds, we're dropping the threshold. Okay, let's go. Gear it down. Threshold. Oh. Excuse me for a second. Eyes lit up there. Right. So you can see now, I'm struggling. But because I'm staying in my lactate threshold zone. I've done a sprint, but I'm still working hard. I already shot up to about 170 there. Cadence is quite low at the moment, which implies I'm tired. I'll try and pick it up a little bit. So we've got 4 minutes of this, or now 3 minutes, and then we're doing another 30-second sprint. And we're back down to a threshold, and then we do a recovery, and then we're doing a TT. Now the TT is 3 minutes long. Now, when we get to the TT, you've got a choice really about how you do it. You could hold in threshold and just do it, or for those of us who find it more fun, seeing how far you can get in that 3 minutes. And as I said, it's always a little benchmark, because the whole idea of me doing these sessions is so you can reproduce them on your own in the future. Because from next week, I'm on paternity leave. So when I do train, I'll be training in my own time. But I've essentially done 5 sessions. Still not got my breath from that sprint. Essentially, giving you 5 sessions really, or 6, I can't remember now. 7 if you include the video, that you can reproduce. And there's so many ways you can make it easier or harder. You can increase the time of the work, decrease the rest, increase your effort, increase the amount of times you work, increase the amount of sets. So we're doing this twice. We do it 3 times. And in fact, truth be told, 2 days ago, that's what I did. Because I wanted to get an hour under my belt. Okay, well, 1 more minute until we do our next 30-second sprint. So there's the whole idea of it. And the good thing is, if you progress this session with the TT at the end of 3 minutes, what you can do, you don't have to change the session at all. You can do this session next week and see if you can beat your TT time, and then the week after. And that's really your progression. Until eventually, I'd say probably after about 3 times, you're going to have to change it, or it's going to become too easy. The other day I did a 20 kilometers, TT, time myself, got a good target. I've got to try and beat for lockdown. Right, in 20 seconds, we're going to go for our sprint. So those of us with gears, you're going to start gearing up in a minute to get ready to go. That went quick, even though it hurt. Okay, ready? We're going to gear up now. Whoa, push on. 3, 2, 1, go. 30 seconds all out. We go for 60k. Need to gear up. More gearing from the sprinter, not young. 10 seconds. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down to threshold. Okay. So remember, 4 minutes in threshold, this isn't recovery. Now, don't normally do this. I'll get some welly on that one. So as you can see, my heart rate's high. I can't talk. And then my legs are burning. That's how you should feel after every 30-second effort. Heart rate went there. Anyway, good news. I did manage to hit 60 kilometers an hour. Oh, tough. So, that's 1 minute into that threshold. So you should still probably removing the lactic acid so it still burns a bit. Spoilers, mine certainly does. And we're way over halfway the session. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? I don't know if the video camera there picks up my subtle glance. Oh. So in 2.5 minutes, we're dropping down to our 3 minute recovery spin. And then we go for our 3 minute TT. Now, TT or time trial, if I haven't made that clear, is given a set distance, a set course, and you have to cycle that course as fast as you can. Now obviously we're indoors, so unless you've got Zwift, those of you do, I'm very, very jealous. I think Alex Dowsett did something on TTs the other day on Zwift actually. Have a look, check that out. Good. Real interesting guy. Anyway, we can't do a set distance, so we're going to do a set time. But in a competitive environment, a TT is basically you're on your own and you've got to go as fast as you can. You can't get behind anyone else. No drafting. So when you do a TT, especially a flat one, it's about having a plan. Remember, we're still at threshold. So for this one, because most of us are indoors, I don't know if anyone's using Zwift at the moment. If you are, you're better than me. But essentially, we've got 3 minutes of a flat course. So our plan is this: consistency. You don't really want to have finished the 3 minutes where you're actually booking it at the end with a sprint. Because realistically, that 3 minutes should be as much as you could do. And the other day, where I did myself a 20k time trial on this, obviously, my biggest problem was I went off too slow. Then I trained off too fast to try and catch it. So if you look at my data, it's all over the shop. So it's about consistency. And consistency comes through practice. So you'll know in the future. We'll drop down in a minute now. We'll just start finish this in a minute. We're dropping down for our recovery spin now. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So 3 minutes here. Back on TT. So you'll know in the future what you got to do. So let's say, for example, I can't remember my time exactly. It was just under 31 minutes for my 20k TT. So I've got an average speed there. Below the whole, I think it was 38 or something kilometers an hour, a metric on the continent. And what I can do with that is next time I can say, right, well, I want to aim for 38.2 kilometers an hour, whatever. It's a big jump in time, actually. But you know what I mean? So try and, the first time you do something, it's normally going to be a little bit of a disaster. Because your pacing will be all over the shop. The classic is going out too hard. and then dying in the middle, and then getting a second win. But what you really want to do is go for that consistency. So if you watch them on like the 1 hour record, it's just all about building up to the speed they want to get to and staying there. Don't sprint finish. They build up slowly to avoid getting the red. Not super slow, obviously. And that's the same with any TT. Should be consistent. If you watch the pros, and what they'll do is they'll TT consistently as well, and you don't see sprint finishes. Maybe on the team pursuit, similar, but not here. So guys, in 1 minute, we're going to start our 3-minute TT. So for me, over 3 minutes, on a roller, no resistance, imagining I'm fully rested, no fatigue issues, I'm going to be going about 40 kilometers an hour for those 3 minutes. Because that's kind of in my threshold area. It's going to get me burning. But I'm not going to do that, because guess what? I won't be able to talk. So I'm just going to lift it up, be slightly below my threshold, and try and stay consistent, both in cadence, which means my leg speed, and of course, in my gearing and my effort levels. So in 20 seconds, we're going to start our TT. And once we've done our TT, I'm going to do an optional sprint after a 10-second rest for those who fancy it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay. So now 3 minutes consistent. Should be burning. So as I said, you want to be just below threshold. So for me at the moment, my heart rate's 155. That's way, well, no it's not, it's a lie, it's 157. That's way below my threshold target heart rate. And that's so I can talk. My speed, obviously non-resistant rollers, at 37 at the moment. Don't think I'm going to average that though, it's jumping up and down. Probably going to average about 30, 36. So now you've just done, we're just coming up to a minute of that TT. So what you should feel is too hard or too easy. And the only person who can answer that is you. So for me, as I'm talking, my heart rate's going up. As you can see, I'm probably taking a bit too hard for my goal in terms of talking, as I'm going 38. I'm just coming up to halfway. So for me, halfway, I've done just over 900 meters. So now, I know if I need to push on or not. And what I would do, obviously if I was doing this pace, and I wasn't talking to you guys, is I would push on. But you guys should be at a point now where you can't talk and your legs are at the biting point, where you think, oh, this is a long time. 1 minute left. So if you've got it in you, give it some. As I said, at the end of this, we're going to do a 30-second break, then an optional 30-second sprint. If you don't want to do that, just start cooling down, which is obviously our next thing. 30 seconds. And keep burning, keep going. Keep going, 20 seconds. Fifteen seconds to go. Last 10. I've lifted up a bit. 4, 3, 2, 1. There's your 3. Register your distance. So that's 1.9. Right. Those of you who are done, just spin it up. Those of you who fancy it, in 10 seconds, we're doing an optional sprint. So gear it up. Ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Optional sprint, 30 seconds. Get too low, cadence is too high. Halfway. 10 seconds. And there. Okay. So now into our 5-minute cool down. Woof. Those of you who cool down already, you'll be a minute into it. So as before, after 3 minutes, Rob, I know you've written, I can't see it from here, I need to get a better computer. After, sorry a minute. After 3 minutes, I'm going to jump off, and you can spin for the rest of the 2. Don't have my central heating's on. Okay. So remember your warm-up, your cool-down should again be progressively slower, not just spin straight away. As you can see, I'm still spinning. Cadence of 80, speed of 29. Heart rate slowly reducing. Minute's gone. So I'm going to drop it down again. Whew. Don't know if it's just me, but I found today's hard. In maybe yesterday's session, maybe I pushed it a bit too hard. Or maybe, and hold me out on this one, maybe I'm just unfit. That can't be it, can it? Okay, 130 gone. So in 30 seconds, I'm going to drop it down again. And as I said, after 3 minutes, I'm going to jump off. Give you a very quick debrief. Just read some of the comments there. Probably insulted me, I'm sure. I wouldn't have any other way, to be fair. Right. So just coming up to 1 minute for me to go. You've still got 3 minutes. I'm going to drop it down right down now. So I've got a nice, high, steady cadence. Speed low, low resistance. The problem with rollers is momentum. And that means that even though I'm dropping it down, my rollers still go at the speed I was going at before I dropped it down. But you don't freewheel, well, you can freewheel on rollers, obviously. So it's just about adapting my resistance, getting used to it. Those of you with rollers, you're always going to fall off. Par for the course. I learned the other day how to do no-handed. I'm not going to do it here because it's live. So in 10 seconds, I'm going to jump off. You need to keep going for 2 minutes, okay? That will take you, well, it should take you to 39 minutes, okay? So keep going for 2 minutes. Just do a little debrief. Okay. So, whoopsie daisy. Before we do the debrief, just going to read Rob's comment. Rob's put, sweaty as tonight, 20 miles an hour on threshold was a target and 35 miles an hour all out. Ridiculous. Well done, Robbie. Sat close to 25 for TT. Excellent. That builds up that speed resistance. Thanks, Rob, for coming, and thanks for commenting and getting involved as well. Okay, big sweaty mess today. As you can see, so let's just recap. So today was all about bouncing about threshold. It's a real good session, this, for speed endurance, okay? So let's say, for example, you're doing a short event. You might be doing, I don't know, like a sprint triathlon is a good example. Or you might be doing a local TT. They're really good, like normally about 15 or 17 miles TT. What you've got there is you're building up the resistance in your legs, the speed resistance in your important muscle groups. Okay. And what that does is it means that when you do the event, you're able to go faster. But let's say you're not competing, you're just here for fitness. This is a cracking one, an absolute cracking one for muscular metabolism. So what this is going to do is it's going to get your respiration systems on your muscles firing, pinging, working more efficiently, which means you're burning calories faster. It's going to tone your muscles. It's going to obviously build up your resistance to lactic acid. It means you're going to handle sessions better in the future. For those of you in long distance, let's say you're doing, for example, I don't know, 150K sportif or 100K sportif. 100K is not long distance these days. This is a great one if you're with a break, or, for example, you're trying to maintain your speed and stay with a group, or it wouldn't use it so much for bridging the gap. That 30-second sprint maybe is more that. But the whole idea of that 30-second sprint, that big effort, is to kind of put you into that zone so that when you're doing your threshold work, it hurts. Because it's too easy just to sit in threshold and feel like, oh, okay, I'm fine with this. This is my threshold. It's super good. Where recently, threshold work should be horrible. It should be bad. And even though I've been working below my threshold today, so I can talk, you can see that it did have an effect on me, okay, and how hard it hurt. All right. So as far as I work out, I think that's your 2 minutes gone. Just had a big crash there. Okay. I think that's your 2 minutes gone for your warm up. If not, obviously just been up. Guys, obviously I'm going to stop now for a bit as I'm on paternity leave. But if it's something you're interested in, okay, if you say, oh, I want to do this more, please do give me a shout. Okay, I can see we had 6 or 7 at peak there. Please do drop me a note. Say, yeah, do you know what? Let's do another one. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll pick one evening of a week, and I'll say, right, this is the evening I'll do. Okay. And obviously I have to work around my family, and I'm really happy to keep them going, okay, because it's a good excuse for me to train. I like to talk about it as well, okay, and obviously it's really good knowing that, you know, the important thing, knowing that other people are doing it with you as well, even though we're stuck indoors, okay. So if you're interested in doing it again, please give me a shout. You can hit me up on Facebook, okay, either my personal account, Lewis McLeod, my my coaching account, which is Rideland, Instagram, which is Rideland, everything, okay, Rideland there, okay, and I'll be really happy to hear from you. Also any feedback. Guys, a huge thanks for coming. Thanks for engaging. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, please do keep going. Even though we're stuck indoors, keep your fitness high. It's great for you, okay? And I hopefully will do one soon, okay? As always, live the dream. Take it easy.